It's a bit of a new one.
Yeah, it's a bit of a blur.
It's a bit of a blur this morning. Goodness me. Let's just get this camera sorted out quickly.
Ish. There
All right, now
go.
we can say good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning and our way to my Capetonian friends. Guys and girls, how are you this morning? Are you also getting cold? I'm having a bit of a few technical struggles here this morning. My microphone don't want to be with me. It keeps on disappearing to the side. So yeah, it's Thursday morning.
It is cold this morning, I must say.
It is cold, chilly, and we just came back from a second ladies' evening down in Rotorua yesterday. The one in Auckland was a massive success, and we were wondering about Rotorua, but Rotorua came to the party. Guys, or let me say girls,
Yes.
you all rocked.
It was such a good evening. We had so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm really glad we went to Rotorua.
We went to Rotorua, and I think we came back with our hearts full. Those are wonderful people out there, even if they've got a bit of a smelly town, but we love the town. So
yeah, that was good. It was really good. So then now there's another one left.
There's two more left.
I mean, yes. Hamilton on Saturday morning and then Tauranga on Sunday afternoon.
And sadly enough, they are all sold out.
Yes.
Yeah. So sorry about that. There was a bumper sell off on these tickets, and it just really went well. What's still happening in our lives is, when is the Napier? It's the 3rd?
The 3rd of June, we're going to Napier.
Is there still tickets for the ladies?
No, the ladies one is sold out.
Yeah. But the guys don't want to buy. Guys, come on. We've got 20 or 30 of you. Only, what about a third of what the ladies are? I can't believe the guys doesn't want to buy. And those prices, I mean, we're charging them less than what the meat alone cost us.
Yeah, it's $15. And you get a sisati, a worsie, steakie,
a very decent piece of steak, so 250
bread, and
we hired the whole
beverages,
and you get fires, real fires, guys. Come on,
it's a good opportunity just to get together with a few guys
and learn to know a few people in your area.
Yeah,
you got nothing to lose. Okay, this morning we're talking about to stay or to go. Is that the right?
To stay or not to stay.
To stay or not to stay.
At the moment, there's quite an, what shall we call it?
There's a large amount of people jumping ship at current stage, and I want to call it jumping ship. Oh my goodness, this microphone will drive me crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people leaving for Australia.
And even some people going back to South Africa, and one or two going to Europe and so forth.
Yeah.
But it seems like a lot of people only come to New Zealand to get citizenship, and then they move somewhere else.
Yeah. And I get it. I get that.
I fully understand that you would go for a bit more money.
The thing with Australia is the salaries are a little or much higher. And if you live in the smaller towns in Australia, your living cost is much less. Although I've heard of people that are there now and people that's been there and came back, it's not so much cheaper if you live in like Brisbane or
in the cities
in the
itself.
city
That's
centre.
what I've heard as well.
Then the houses is the same
Still
prices
very,
that
very
you
high
pay in New Zealand. Although your salary is still higher, but your living cost is not that much lower.
Yep. So that was the one interesting thing. You always think that the grass is much greener on the other side, but I've actually spoken this week to two different groups of people, both of them women, and both of them have lived in Australia for a period of time. One has moved back to New Zealand now, and the one has moved back to South Africa and then came to New Zealand.
Okay.
And both of them had the following problems. They said that the kids were not, or their kids struggled really hard in school.
That is so funny.
That was also the first time that I've heard.
Because I spoke to a teacher. She's now retired, but she lived, they've been in New Zealand, I think, for 20 years or nearly 20 years or something. So she lived in New Zealand for a few years. She was a teacher here and her husband, but they struggled to get a job. So they left for Australia and they lived in Australia for like 10 years or something. It's really very long. And they were so happy in the schools there. She says the school, I don't know, she says it was just much easier to adapt to the school system.
But how many years ago was that?
Not that long ago. They only came back recently to retire.
I was just thinking that
in New Zealand.
Kids changed even in the last 10 years, 5 years. A lot have changed.
I don't know. You can never say, eh?
Yeah, you can never say.
Yeah.
That was the most interesting thing I ever heard about Australia. I mean, myself, I haven't got kids, so I can't tell you what New Zealand schools are like, or what Australia schools could be like. But that was a bit of an eye-opener.
I think when you're young, yes, go.
Yeah.
Because if you don't go, you'll never know what it would have been like. And maybe Australia is for you. Australia, I think, is much more like South Africa.
Hotter. More crime.
Not in that way.
Oh well, they're struggling with crime, really.
But I think the climate and stuff is it's
it's got the snakes,
South Africa.
Dogs that can bite you, 3 types of crocodiles that can eat you. I mean, come on, what's not to want in the country? Now, somebody actually the other day, they received their citizenship, and I had this remark. I said to them, "Are you going to Australia now?" And they said, "No, it's too many Aussies there." So I don't know.
I have also heard that people complain about the attitude of the Australians, but some people complain about the attitude of
somebody just told me this. They said, if you're struggling to make friends in New Zealand, you're probably never going to have any friends in Australia.
Really?
They said it's really very tight, and even other South Africans living there just turn their backs on new immigrants coming in. So how true that is, I don't know. Please don't shoot the messenger, but that's just what somebody told me.
Yeah, well, I think
who has lived there as well.
You'll have to. We want to visit Australia.
Not going to live there, guys. Not going to live there. Visit. Yeah.
What did I say? Live?
No, I'm just saying. Bring it out there.
Yeah, just to see what it's about, and I'm sure that we will enjoy. Yeah, and the beaches. It looks really beautiful. Yeah. We won't.
No, I won't move. No.
Never say never. But at the moment,
let's never say never. But the main thing is for me to move over there. I've got to do a heck of a lot of extra learning.
Yes, no.
I don't want to learn anymore.
It will definitely not be while you are still working, which is probably going to be until you're 80. So no, we're not going.
So I won't tell you cashing on my life cover. So. And somebody just saying, probably the reason why they won't go to Australia, things that want to kill you.
Yeah.
All those nasty stuff living down there.
I was always kind of weary. I'm really scared of snakes. I don't like snakes at all. To me, they're all venomous. I don't care what they are, what they look like. I don't like snakes.
And spiders?
Spiders.
I mean, those things are.
I know, they're disgusting.
About the size of their house.
No, man.
Spiders. I'll show you spiders in Australia. You probably fear them more than the snakes. So.
Yeah. So for me, it's so nice to you can walk in the woods, you can walk in the forest, wherever, and you don't have to worry about a snake.
I can step over logs. You don't need to first look on the other side.
Yeah. So I think it all depends. And I think you also, just like when you come to New Zealand, do your homework. Speak to people that live there.
Yeah.
But I can understand that when you're young and up and coming in your job and stuff, that you would want to go. It makes sense to me.
But it worries me a bit. On the one hand, me being selfish, I'm just thinking that probably the best of the best are now leaving for Australia.
It is scary.
That's the one thing that scares me. And it scares me in the medical field due to the fact that 5,000 nurses have applied for jobs in Australia. And that's 5,000 New Zealand nurses.
Yeah.
And it looks like our Prime Minister doesn't care about that.
It is really scary. And I get why they're leaving. They are offered residence.
But the money they get here.
They are getting
much
more
ridiculous.
money. Yeah. So it really makes sense. And even to people in a profession like physiotherapy,
or doctors,
the salaries that they get, that are offered in Australia, you really can't say no to that. So it makes sense. It really makes sense to me. I think it's also because the minimum wage in New Zealand is really high.
And the other thing is, you in the economic world, you got to take there's 5 million people of us.
Mm.
And 5 million people of us are sustaining each other with our salaries. Australia's got 27 million. So they've already got a larger pool of money going around to pay out from taxes, to pay out nurses more. While we have only got this limited amount, and then they want to give all the money we have away to people that's not really bringing anything
so
to the
they
economy.
are. I mean, New Zealand's got their own problems.
Yeah, they've got their own problems.
But
it's first world country problems.
Yeah.
So,
but we also said to each other when we immigrated that we are not going to get involved and like twined up into the political situation.
That just bring me back to
yes. We said that because in South Africa the political it just brought you down all the time. So we decided we're not going to let that influence us in New Zealand. It gets to you. I mean, we've been here for 5 years now, so it is getting to you.
And it worries me. I mean, I've got a heart condition. So if ever I need urgent help, I'm not talking about hip replacement, which can take over a period of time. If I need urgent help, will there be enough medical staff to look after me?
Yeah.
And at this stage, I'm worried about that, to be quite frank.
I must say the one thing in New Zealand that really worries me is the medical.
Yeah, the medical. I do have private health, not with the best company, but I do have private health.
Yeah.
But that's not going to help me.
If there's no doctors, private medical health is not going to do anything.
And even in an emergency. Even if I have every private health in this country, it's not going to help in an emergency. So
I think we just decided we're just going to live our best life in New Zealand and then
and still do our best for the community.
Yeah, we just pray.
As easy as that.
We just pray that everything will be
eat love. What's that story?
Healthy.
Yeah, let's be healthy. So there you go. I'm back on the diet, says the wife. So yeah. It's quite interesting the different reasons people decide to go. But we've also heard a few unpleasant stories about people that has left here. We know of a husband and wife that's left, and until now, as far as I know, he hasn't been able to get a job. The wife is working.
And they say that the houses, they pay the same
rent
that they did in New Zealand, and they lived in Auckland, so it was much more.
So they're basically worse off there than down here because he had a job here as well.
Yeah. I think probably when he gets a job, it will be better.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's that easy to get a job. And I think I don't know what profession he's in, but I think it's something really. I
don't know what profession he's in, or perhaps he just don't have a good CV. I don't know that finer details, but I know he can't get a job currently in Australia. It's nothing to do with his residence visas or anything. So,
and then you get a lot of people that leave for Europe. A lot of Kiwis, actually. It's not so much
but keep in mind, the Kiwis got this overseas experience thing that they do. Yes, I know a lot of them doesn't come back at all. But they've got, it's like a right of way or a passage to manhood or to womanhood. They get on the airplane, go and work in Europe somewhere for a year. Sometimes they meet their better half down that side and work for a few years there.
Yeah.
But I see a lot of them coming back once they have kids. That's an interesting thing. They say they don't want to bring up their kids in Europe.
Yeah. I still think that New Zealand is one of the best places to raise your kids.
Oh, yeah.
I am not sure about the school system. I've got no idea how it works. I've heard
I can't even comment or think.
Things.
Teachers that love it. I've talked to many teachers and they just love the school system.
So I don't know. It
and
must
the things
be
I've talked to many parents as well, where their kids are absolutely excelling down here. Yeah. Yes, I've talked to people as well where the kids are struggling, but I wonder sometimes if people don't give up too easily.
Yeah,
that's another thing you've got to watch out for.
Yeah. What I've realized is people that kids really excelled in South Africa, that's worried about the schooling system in New Zealand because it is so laid back.
Yeah.
But the people that have children that they were just average, and some of them were really struggling and doesn't fit into a box, and they love the school system.
Oh, yeah.
And those kids are actually
doing extremely well down
there.
Yeah,
so I think it's also,
It depends on person to person.
It does.
And it's much a thing of how much you do for that as what they would do for you. So.
And then, of course, there are people that's going back to South Africa, which in some instances I also get.
I do understand that. I just don't understand the reason they give you now, why they're going back. Or rather be honest and say, geez, I'm struggling. I miss my family.
Yeah.
So
I think the most people that go back, it is about family.
it is, but
it is hard.
nobody's honest, or very
Just
few of them
say
are there is
that.
honest
Yeah.
enough to say
They'll
it's
tell
still
you
bad there, but
bad
we are
stuff
going
about
back.
New Zealand and the people in New Zealand,
Mm.
and make it all about New Zealand. And actually, it's not.
It's not. No.
Dis nie 'n skande om terug te gaan nie.
Yeah, and if you go back within your first year, then you haven't really tried. Let's be quite honest about it. The first year for us as well was, oh my goodness. I mean, how many times I walked into a cafe or a dairy, as they call it down here, and I just think, these prices, I can't live with these prices. And I was thinking, I could buy 3 or 4 Cokes for the price of 1 Coke down here, and I could buy them in South Africa, and I still got to think about that. And then I would think, but I could be robbed while walking into that cafe. So
one thing that we can really
relate.
No.
Okay.
I can't put enough stress on this. If you do your homework to come to New Zealand and you budget, of course, you can't come without a budget. Some people just get on the plane. Some people don't even have the funds to pay for their tickets. Yeah. So if you come and you draw your budget up, you can double your budget, and you probably still won't have enough money to just get yourself going for a few months.
Yeah. And it is going to be difficult in the first few months or the first year, because it's a different money system. It's a different way of speaking English. Let's be quite frank. It's a total different way of speaking English, different way of doing a lot of things.
And the thing is, just get your head around that you're going to come here. You're probably going to live in a house that you don't want to live in for the first few months, just to get your feet on your feet. And even if you don't have any furniture, there's people that live without furniture, proper furniture, for a year, just to get on their feet. But if your attitude is right, that won't even bother you. And I promise you, it won't bother anyone. You can invite them to your home if you only have a mattress and a few camping chairs.
Sometimes people tell me when I come to visit them, they say, just bring a chair with. And I do. I don't mind bringing a chair with.
Because people will admire how brave you were to come, even though you knew that you are really going to struggle. So just stay. I know it gets hard. If the 3rd month and you still don't have a proper bed to sleep on, it will be hard. But just remind yourself, it's only for a while. It's only for a little while.
But currently, there's lots of beds going around in New Zealand that I see that people are gifting.
Yes, people give things away. But then also, what I find a lot more now than when we came, it's probably because of the money. I don't know. It's probably because of that. I get a lot of people coming and just relying on other people for furniture and for whatever. I don't know. Sorry.
No. All right, that's not COVID.
Yes. So. It is one thing to ask for help. It's another thing if you say, I need a double bed, I need a queen size bed, I need a lounge, I need a washing machine.
White sheet.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like, those people that you are asking for those stuff had to do that on their own when they came here. We didn't have anyone to give us anything or help us with anything.
No, that's not.
You just struggle through it. I get it if you say, listen, we knew we don't have anything. Does anyone have anything that they can contribute?
Yeah, and offer to buy it from the people.
Or even if they give it to you, but don't be specific. My goodness.
I've been to a house yesterday, and they've furnished their whole house from Facebook Marketplace.
Yes.
And it was quite interesting. And as I said, they drove through the suburb one day, and there was a couch outside people's house that they were just giving away. And that couch is actually in a very good nick.
Yeah.
And these people have finished their whole house in the past 3 months from Facebook Marketplace. The interesting thing is, and I've never thought about this, and I actually thought at least this lady's husband, I don't hope she's listening this morning, he's very clever. All right? I think he's very clever. The first thing that he bought, right? The first thing they bought was a trailer.
Oh.
Because they just had a normal car. So he bought a trailer. It's not a flash trailer or a grand thing or anything else. But he could go around with his trailer and get all the pieces of furniture that they were offered
Very
and that
clever.
was sold off.
Very clever.
Yeah, because I had to go and pick up some furniture from my offices because we're vacating our offices, and I had to go and rent a trailer,
Mm.
and it was it was $91. It was quite an expensive exercise. I actually thought $91 for about 2 hours was crazy, but anyway,
That's not a bad idea.
no. Yeah, somebody just saying, well done. It's a tough subject, but so necessary to address. And here's no help. You need to do your own house and garden. Yeah.
And you just do it.
Yeah.
It's like, you know that you're going to have to do that when you come. So you just do it. And at the moment, you don't want to see what my house looks like, although the rest of the house is neat.
The house is...
It's okay.
It's reasonably clean. Let's call it that.
It's clean. It's just not
organized.
tidy.
Because all these function stuff has been standing all over.
Around.
I've got a gym downstairs and it's absolutely crazy down there. But hopefully after this weekend we can see the equipment again.
It'll pass.
It better pass.
But yes, you don't have any help. So, but you also have to get your mind around that when you immigrate. You know that you're not going to have any help. And you just do it.
It won't kill you.
No.
It won't kill you to just do a few things around the house. Really, I promise you. I've got a guy cutting my grass just because it's more economical to do it that way around. But I have tried cutting my own grass. I've got massive grass. And it takes me 2 days to cut the grass. So I've got this guy with a ride-on lawnmower and he comes quick, and it doesn't cost that much. So, yeah.
So there are some things that you have to get your mind around. And then really... so let me say, touchy subject. People that
going there now.
Yeah, we have to go there.
Okay.
I get why some people go back to South Africa. I don't get why other people go back to South Africa. And because some people come here, they think that everything is just going to go their way. They struggle without someone that's cleaning their house. They struggle because they might only have one car. They struggle because they're living in a 3-bedroom house with only one bathroom. They don't have any friends. What are the other reasons why some people just give up and go?
They miss their cleaning lady. That's a one I've heard quite a few times. The other thing is, I don't know. Then people talk bad about New Zealand because they are leaving for reasons that's nothing to do with New Zealand.
Nothing to do with New Zealand. It's all to do with yourself.
All to do with yourself.
You knew when you came that it is like you. I think some people just come, without really contemplating what they're leaving and knowing what it's going to be like.
I also wonder a lot of times, and I'm not going to say a specific gender down here. But the person coming with the person that's got the job here, sometimes that person doesn't want to come, and they will do anything to
sabotage it.
To stop stop them being happy.
Yeah,
and it's sad, and I know a few people that is like that. So if you're feeling that way this morning, give this thing a chance. It's a wonderful country to live in. Let's be quite frank. It's a wonderful country to live in. I'm sad that we could not be here from the age of, let's say, 20. I would have loved to be in this country from the age of 20. There's so much stuff to see.
Yeah.
And another thing, I'm sorry, I'm just going to pick on this subject quickly. In South Africa, I had a client who lived in New Zealand for a year. A very famous rugby player. Okay. He played for New Plymouth.
Yes.
All right. He played rugby. And when I decided to go to New Zealand, I went to him and said, hey, man, just help me quickly out. What is New Zealand like? And he said to me, you can only tell me about New Plymouth. I said, why? He said, he's never been out of New Plymouth. He's been here for a year or for 2 years or something like that. He had a little contract down here. And he never left. He never even drove outside of the little town he is. Guys, you need to get out. There's beautiful places in here. If you become bored of what you around you, drive out 50, 100 kilometers. Won't cost you that much.
If you're going to sit at home every single day
and mope, you are going to go back to South Africa
and not see anything new, you are not going to be happy. No. You're not going to make any friends.
Yeah.
You're not going to meet new people.
I want to read that one that popped up on that side. Brian's saying, when you immigrate, don't bring South Africa with. New
Yes.
country, new life, new rules, new you.
And it is an adventure. And you must see it as an adventure.
Yeah. Can I read Biana's
Yes,
post? Or
you
do
can.
you want to read Biana's post? We've done the hard yards with Biana,
With
to be
Biana.
quite frank, from when she started in New Zealand to where she is now. And Biana, if you're still listening, I'm very proud of what you guys have become.
Resilience.
Yeah.
People, resilience.
She says you have to sacrifice. It's not a walk in the park, but you have to look at the greater picture. Small time pain for a long time gain. Yeah, they really did very hard yards.
Yes.
And they're still here.
It would have been easy for them to just throw in the towel and just leave.
Yeah. Easy. That will be the easiest people to say, that's not working for us.
Yeah.
New Zealand is bad. Because they had a bad experience in New Zealand. Let's call it what it is. They had a bad experience. They kept on going. One other thing. I met somebody last night. The lady in Rotorua. She actually said that she loved the country and she's now found a job. She looks like she was about 4 months without a job. They're new to the country. But the way that she described her job, I even thought, I should go and look for a job down there.
She doesn't want to leave.
She doesn't want to leave. She doesn't want to leave
her husband wants to come to Tauranga, and she just doesn't want to leave Rotorua. She loves the job.
She loves the job. So,
it's good to hear stories.
It's good to hear stories like that.
Really good.
And the thing is, there's a lot of stories like that, and that can be your story.
Yeah.
And it's up to you. It's not up to me. It's not up to the country. It's not up to your neighbors. It's up to you.
Yeah.
You can be the best you can be. It's only up to you.
When you're feeling down in the dumps and you just want to pack up and go, just go for a drive in the countryside. And I don't know, if that doesn't lift your spirit, I don't know what will. It is so beautiful.
And if you're seriously thinking about going back to South Africa, go into YouTube. It's for free and watch Carte Blanche.
We have people, and you know what? When you live in New Zealand for a very long time, you don't see the beauty. I still do. I make an effort. I still do. But people that people that grew up here, they don't see how beautiful it is. So we've got people here. Sandra and Chris is staying with us for a few days, and we told them to drive through the Coromandel when they came down from Auckland. And she said to her husband, "Thank you for bringing me to the most beautiful place in the world. It is so beautiful." And last night when we left the golf club after the function in Rotorua, there was a huge, I don't know, was it? That
was the geyser. That was. We've got thermal activity in Rotorua, and one of the geysers.
It was late, so it was really dark, and this huge geyser, all the steam in the air. And they had a light at the bottom of that. So they lit up this steam. It was the most beautiful. And the steam was just like...
And it was quiet.
It was...
No noise.
It was so beautiful. Yeah. I said to Shireen then, if I had a chair, I would have gone down and sit there and just look at that thing.
I think I posted a video last night.
Did you? It was really beautiful. So there are so many beautiful things to see.
Yeah.
Don't forget to look around and see the beauty when you are feeling down.
And live the beauty of it. It's not going to cost you 1 cent or $1 to walk on the beach. I promise you. If you're on Tauranga, drive down to Sulphur Point. If you're in Auckland, go drive down to the marina. Just walk around there. It's beautiful. Whatever little town you are, there is somewhere near you that's not going to cost you 1 cent. That's very near, and it will change your mind a bit.
Yeah.
And you've got to be open for that.
Yeah. So just stay positive. If you're thinking of leaving for the wrong reasons, just think again and try to persevere a little bit. Even if it's hard, even if you don't like your job.
And guys, I do understand money. I do understand money. I know
it is hard.
People need to go where you get the most bucks. But at the end of the day, make sure there where you're going, it's really greener. Sometimes remember, it's greener because there's more shit. Sorry about that.
People will say that to you for leaving South Africa. Be careful.
I left South Africa because there was a lot of shit. So. All right. Okay. It's time for you to say goodbye to all these beautiful, wonderful people.
Enjoy your Thursday. It's another beautiful day. We had a wonderful week. The sun is shining
Oh,
every
yeah.
day.
Sun is shining.
Weather is beautiful.
Sun is shining. I hope the sun is shining tomorrow. I think I should do afternoon fish quickly.
You
Okay. That's that, guys.
Okay.
Girls, thanks a lot.
Bye.
Okay, bye.